Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you're into finding hidden gems in your spare change, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into a legendary coin from US history, the 1894 United States 1 dime. This is a coin that doesn't just represent a piece of American currency, but a rich legacy, incredible rarity, and a fascinating story. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just beginning your journey into the world of numismatics, this coin holds an allure that's hard to ignore. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this tiny dime could be worth more than you'd ever expect. Let's begin by stepping back into 1894, a year filled with historical significance. In 1894, the United States was at the tail end of the Gilded Age, a period marked by rapid industrialization, economic growth, and social change. The country was also beginning to see major shifts in its political and cultural landscape, as the Industrial Revolution gave way to new technologies and innovations. It was a time when the rich were getting richer, but the working class was still facing many challenges. It's against this backdrop that the 1894 dime was minted. This was a time when the U.S. Mint was working hard to meet the country's growing demand for coins. The U.S. Mint had already introduced the Barber design for dimes in 1892, created by engraver Charles E. Barber. This design featured the head of Liberty, facing left, surrounded by a wreath of olive and oak branches, with the inscription United States of America and E Pluribus Unum. On the reverse side, the coin showed a wreath of olive branches with the words 1 dime and United States of America around it. The 1894 dime, however, isn't just any dime from that era. It's one of the most sought-after coins in the world due to its extreme rarity and intriguing backstory. The 1894 dime was initially minted in much smaller quantities than other years, and it became legendary for its extremely limited production. Now, why is the 1894 dime so special? Well, the key factor is its rarity. The 1894 dimes were originally struck at the U.S. Mint in San Francisco. However, a major part of the story lies in the fact that only 24 of these dimes were produced in 1894, making them incredibly rare. This small mintage number is what sets this coin apart from virtually every other dime in existence. Most of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, but only a small handful were actually released, and even fewer have survived in good condition. In fact, these 24 dimes became a part of U.S. Mint history because of how few were made, and even more so due to the mystery that surrounds the minting of these coins. Some believe that the 1894 dime was intended to be a proof coin, specifically designed for collectors, which is why only a limited number were made. Others speculate that the coins were struck as a special request for certain individuals, which further adds to the intrigue and allure surrounding them. Regardless of the exact reasoning, the fact remains that these 1894 dimes are some of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence today. The design of the 1894 dime is also significant. It was part of the broader Barber coin series, which included the quarter and half dollar, making it a key piece in the set. This coin also marks an important moment in the development of American coinage, as it represents the efforts of the U.S. Mint to create a series of coins that were both functional and beautiful. The Barber dime, which had a unique design and craftsmanship, continues to be a favorite among coin collectors for its aesthetic appeal and historical significance. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1894 dime. While most dimes from the late 19th century are worth only a small fraction of their face value, the 1894 dime is a different story entirely. Because of its rarity, historical significance, and the legendary status it has attained, this coin can fetch prices far beyond its initial value. In fact, the value of an 1894 dime can vary greatly depending on its condition and provenance. A well-preserved, high-grade 1894 dime can easily sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. If you happen to find an 1894 dime in excellent condition, with little to no wear and all the details of the design still sharp and clear, you could be holding a treasure worth a small fortune. In the world of rare coins, few come close to the 1894 dime in terms of value and desirability. Some of these coins have been sold for astronomical prices, and one of the most notable sales occurred in the early 2000s when an 1894 dime sold for a jaw-dropping sum. And here's the big reveal: if you have an 1894 dime in pristine condition, it could be worth as much as $100,000. Yes, you heard that right, $100,000 for a single coin. But remember, this value is only for those rare, well-preserved specimens that have maintained their integrity over the years. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value, and even a slight wear can reduce its price dramatically. So, if you're lucky enough to own an 1894 dime, be sure to have it professionally appraised, as you might just be sitting on a rare and highly valuable piece of history. For coin collectors, the 1894 dime is a dream find, and for investors, it's a coveted asset that could continue to grow in value as time goes on. So, keep your eyes peeled when you're sifting through old coin collections or attending auctions. You never know when you might stumble upon a rare gem like the 1894 dime. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. coinage, and we're focusing on a gem that might not always be in the spotlight but is definitely worth your attention: the 1977 Roosevelt dime. This seemingly simple coin, featuring President Franklin D. Roosevelt, has a lot more to offer than you might think. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner just starting to explore the world of rare coins, the 1977 Roosevelt dime could be an exciting addition to your collection. So, stick with us as we uncover the hidden value and potential worth of this iconic coin. The Roosevelt dime series was first introduced in 1946, shortly after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had served as the 32nd President of the United States. The dime was designed by artist John R. Sinek, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the American mint. The Roosevelt dime replaced the previous Mercury dime, and it's been in circulation ever since. The design features a left-facing bust of Roosevelt, with the word "Liberty" inscribed above and "In God We Trust" to the right. Below Roosevelt's image, you'll find the year of minting, and on the reverse side, the coin features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Now, what makes the 1977 Roosevelt dime stand out from the rest of its series? The 1977 version, like other coins from the 1970s, was part of a period where the U.S. Mint was dealing with inflation, changes in the economy, and shifting minting practices. During this time, the demand for smaller denominations like dimes remained high, but the value of the coin itself remained relatively low due to inflation. However, certain aspects of the 1977 coin make it unique, and that uniqueness has caught the attention of collectors over the years. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1977 Roosevelt dime is the potential for finding one in an exceptionally high-grade condition. While millions of these dimes were minted, many of them show signs of wear and tear due to heavy circulation, which means they are not particularly rare in lower grades. However, the real value of the 1977 Roosevelt dime lies in its condition. Uncirculated, high-grade specimens, especially those without the usual dings, scratches, or discoloration that often comes with years of handling, are far rarer than most people realize. Additionally, some of these dimes were struck with minting errors, which further increase their desirability. Coin errors, like off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks, are often prized by collectors because they represent an anomaly in the minting process. These rare errors can drastically increase the value of a coin, even when the coin itself is from a widely produced year like 1977. If you happen to find a 1977 Roosevelt dime with any sort of minting error, you could be holding on to a small treasure. Now, let's talk about the value of this coin. Most 1977 Roosevelt dimes in average circulation condition are worth their face value, just 10 cents. However, as with many coins, the value skyrockets if you find a well-preserved, uncirculated specimen, or a coin with a rare minting error. And here's where things get exciting for coin collectors and investors alike. If you happen to own a 1977 Roosevelt dime that has been preserved in exceptional condition or features a significant minting error, you could be sitting on something that's worth a small fortune. Are you ready for the big reveal? a 1977 Roosevelt dime in top-tier condition, especially one with a unique minting flaw, could be worth as much as $90,000, that's right, $90,000 for a single dime. While this price may seem mind-blowing, it's important to remember that the value of rare coins like this depends heavily on the condition, rarity, and sometimes the story behind the coin. A coin that has survived for decades without significant damage, or one that carries a rare minting error, can command a price far higher than its original face value. These kinds of discoveries are what make the world of coin collecting so thrilling. There's always the possibility of uncovering a hidden treasure worth far more than expected. For coin collectors, the 1977 Roosevelt dime is a coin that offers a lot of potential. Whether you find it in a jar of loose change, in an old collection passed down through generations, or at a local coin shop, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. And remember, even if your 1977 Roosevelt dime isn't worth tens of thousands of dollars, it's still a valuable piece of American history. After all, each coin tells a story of its time, and the Roosevelt dime represents a key chapter in the story of the United States, commemorating a president who helped lead the country through some of its toughest times. Today, we're talking about a coin that might seem modest at first glance but actually holds incredible value, the United States Roosevelt dime from 1991. While most people may think of it as just another dime from the 90s, this particular year of the Roosevelt dime is something that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Stick around until the end, because you'll be amazed to discover just how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth. Let's start by looking at the Roosevelt dime in general. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had led the country through the Great Depression and most of World War II. The U.S. Mint designed the dime to honor Roosevelt's legacy, and the coin featured a portrait of the late president, facing left, with the word "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" to the right. The reverse side of the coin showed a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The design was created by engraver John R. Sinnock and has been a hallmark of U.S. currency ever since. Over the years, the Roosevelt dime has become a staple of American coinage, circulating in the economy and finding its way into the hands of millions. However, like many coins from the 20th and 21st centuries, some years have become more coveted than others, and 1991 is one of those years that stands out to collectors. So, what makes the 1991 Roosevelt dime so special? Well, for most years, dimes were minted in large quantities, meaning that they were readily available and often circulated heavily. But some of these dimes from the early 90s have something unique about them that has captured the attention of collectors in recent years. The most significant reason the 1991 Roosevelt dime is so highly regarded has to do with its condition and rarity in uncirculated form. Most 1991 dimes that were put into circulation have been worn down over the years, showing signs of scratches, discoloration, and other wear from use. However, a small number of these dimes were preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, and these are the ones that collectors are looking for. Coins from this era, especially those in near-perfect condition, are rare, which makes them highly valuable. A well-preserved 1991 Roosevelt dime is a collector's dream, as it showcases the craftsmanship and history of U.S. coinage. Another factor contributing to the high value of this dime is its rarity in mint sets. Mint sets are special collections of coins produced by the U.S. Mint each year. These sets are often sold to collectors, and coins within these sets are typically in much better condition than coins that were circulated. The 1991 dimes found in mint sets are often in much better condition than those that were in general circulation, making them more desirable. As the years go by, these mint sets become harder to find, and the coins they contain become even more valuable. But there's one more thing that can send the value of the 1991 Roosevelt dime skyrocketing. As with many coins, certain minting errors can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. Mint errors like double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks can drastically increase the value of a coin. These types of errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and can't be replicated. If you happen to come across a 1991 Roosevelt dime with one of these errors, you could be holding onto a coin worth much more than its face value. Now, let's talk about the value. While a regular, circulated 1991 Roosevelt dime is worth only 10 cents, its face value, things change drastically when you find one in exceptional condition. In fact, a high-grade, uncirculated 1991 Roosevelt dime, especially one with a minting error or from a mint set, can be worth a lot more. These coins are highly desirable on the market, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. And here's the big reveal: if you have a 1991 Roosevelt dime in perfect condition, or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $80,000. That's right, $80,000 for a single dime. It's hard to believe that something so small could hold such immense value, but the world of coin collecting is full of surprises like this. Whether you find this coin in your pocket change, in an old collection, or at an estate sale, it's definitely worth taking a close look, especially if it's in excellent condition. Even if you don't have a minting error or a perfect specimen, the fact that the coin is from a notable year and has survived in good condition could still make it valuable. The lesson here is clear: always keep an eye out for rare coins, and never underestimate the value of something as seemingly small as a dime. The 1991 Roosevelt dime is just one example of how coins from the 20th century can be worth far more than their face value, and it shows just how exciting and rewarding the world of coin collecting can be. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of U.S. coinage and take a closer look at a piece of history that might just be hiding in your collection or even in your pocket change: the 1980 Roosevelt dime. While the dime might seem like a humble coin, this particular year has caught the attention of collectors and investors due to its rarity, condition, and unique qualities. Stick with us as we uncover the intriguing story behind the 1980 Roosevelt dime and how it could be worth far more than you might expect. First, let's talk about the Roosevelt dime in general. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt had led the nation through some of its most challenging times, including the Great Depression and World War II. The U.S. Mint wanted to commemorate his leadership, and thus, they designed a coin featuring his portrait, which quickly became a symbol of his enduring influence on American society. The reverse of the coin features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. Since its debut, the Roosevelt dime has been one of the most iconic and widely circulated coins in the United States. Although many years of the Roosevelt dime are very common, certain years, including the 1980 version, stand out because of their rarity in exceptional condition and unique characteristics. In the case of the 1980 Roosevelt dime, the key to its value lies in how well it has been preserved, especially given its time in circulation. Over the decades, millions of 1980 dimes were minted and put into circulation. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions and show the usual signs of wear and tear. After all, it was the era of high inflation, and these coins saw heavy use in the economy. But here's where things get interesting: the condition of these dimes is what really determines their value. Coins that were kept in excellent condition, with minimal signs of wear, are becoming harder to find and thus are much more valuable. In addition to their condition, the 1980 Roosevelt dime also benefits from being part of a series that collectors find particularly intriguing. As we move further away from the 1980s, coins like these become rarer simply due to the passage of time. Many of the dimes from this year were either lost, spent, or simply worn down, meaning that only a small percentage of these coins remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. For coin collectors, these near-perfect dimes represent a rare opportunity to own a piece of American history, and that rarity drives their value. Additionally, the 1980 Roosevelt dime is part of a larger trend that's become very important to collectors: minting errors. Every year, the U.S. Mint strikes millions of coins, but occasionally, due to variations in the minting process, some coins end up with imperfections. These errors can include things like double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, all of which are considered rare and valuable to collectors. A 1980 Roosevelt dime with a minting error can be worth far more than a regular, well-preserved dime, making it even more desirable to those in the numismatic community. The demand for error coins, particularly ones that are rare and well documented, has skyrocketed in recent years. So, if you're fortunate enough to find a 1980 Roosevelt dime with one of these minting errors, you may be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Whether it's a double die or another kind of flaw, error coins are highly sought after, and the value of these coins can reach astronomical amounts. But now, let's talk about the heart of the matter. How much could your 1980 Roosevelt dime be worth? While many of these coins are still in circulation or have been used over the years, making them worth only face value, the ones that stand out in perfect condition, or those with minting errors, can command a much higher price. If you happen to own a well-preserved 1980 Roosevelt dime or one with a rare minting flaw, you could be looking at a value that goes far beyond the 10 cents printed on the coin. And here's the exciting part: a 1980 Roosevelt dime in exceptional condition, or one with a rare minting error, could be worth as much as $85,000. That's right, $85,000 for a single dime. It's mind-blowing, but it's true. The rarity, condition, and potential for minting errors make the 1980 Roosevelt dime a highly valuable coin for collectors. Whether you find one in your coin jar, at a garage sale, or as part of an old collection, it's worth taking the time to closely inspect your 1980 dimes. You might just find a rare treasure tucked away in plain sight. So, next time you come across a 1980 Roosevelt dime, remember that it's not just another dime. It could very well be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of value. Coins like these are a reminder of the rich history behind U.S. currency and the incredible potential that lies within our everyday change. If you're passionate about coin collecting or simply enjoy discovering rare finds, make sure to keep an eye out for these hidden gems. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of U.S. coinage, and we've got a real gem to explore: the 1967 Roosevelt dime. While most of us might pass by a dime without a second thought, the Roosevelt dime series, particularly from the 1960s, has caught the attention of many numismatists and collectors due to its unique history, rarity, and potential value. If you've ever wondered how a coin as small as the dime could be worth a significant amount, stick with us as we explore the incredible value of the 1967 Roosevelt dime. Before we get into the specifics of the 1967 dime, let's take a quick look at the coin's history and design. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt, known for leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, left a legacy of strength and determination, making him an ideal figure to be commemorated on U.S. currency. The obverse of the Roosevelt dime features a striking profile of Roosevelt himself, while the reverse showcases a simple yet elegant design with a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Fast forward to 1967, a year that stands out for several reasons, including the coinage produced by the U.S. Mint. The 1967 Roosevelt dime is part of the series of coins minted during a time of significant change and challenges in the United States. While the dimes from this year were produced in relatively large quantities, what makes the 1967 dimes unique is their scarcity in excellent condition and their role in a period of U.S. economic history that was marked by both inflation and social change. When it comes to the value of any coin, the condition is the most crucial factor. Coins that have been in circulation for decades, especially one as small as the dime, are often subject to wear and tear. The 1967 Roosevelt dime is no exception, as most coins from that year have been circulated and show signs of use. However, coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are much rarer and far more valuable. The better the condition, the higher the value, simple as that. Now, let's talk about the rare finds that make coin collecting such an exciting hobby. In addition to coins that have been well preserved, the 1967 Roosevelt dime also comes with a specific set of characteristics that can make it even more valuable. One of the most notable features that collectors look for is any potential minting errors. Due to the complexity of the coin production process, occasionally, errors occur that result in coins with unique characteristics, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors are highly sought after in the world of numismatics because they are considered one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the rest of the coins minted that year. If you happen to find a 1967 Roosevelt dime with a minting error, you may have just stumbled upon a rare treasure. Minting errors can increase the value of a coin exponentially, and for error collectors, these coins are often the most prized. Whether it's a misalignment of the design or an unusual strike, these imperfections can turn an otherwise common coin into a highly valuable item. So, you might be wondering, how much is a 1967 Roosevelt dime really worth? Well, as with most collectibles, the value depends on a few key factors: the coin's condition, whether it has been well preserved, and whether it has any minting errors. While most 1967 Roosevelt dimes are worth just their face value of 10 cents, those in pristine, uncirculated condition can be worth much more. And if you're lucky enough to own a 1967 Roosevelt dime with a rare minting error or a piece that has remained in impeccable condition for decades, you could be looking at a value that far exceeds what most people would expect from a simple dime. In fact, a 1967 Roosevelt dime in exceptional condition or one with a rare error could be worth as much as $99,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $99,000 for a single dime. While it's certainly a rare find, it's a reminder that there's hidden value all around us, even in our pocket change. So, the next time you come across a 1967 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could be worth far more than you imagined. Whether it's a rare error coin or one that has simply stood the test of time in outstanding condition, these dimes are valuable treasures in the world of numismatics. Today, in this video, we're going to explore a true gem from the world of US currency, the 1965 Roosevelt dime. You might think of dimes as small, everyday coins that don't carry much value, but the 1965 Roosevelt dime has a fascinating story and is worth much more than you might expect. So grab a seat, and let's dive into the details of this incredible coin. First, let's take a look at the 1965 Roosevelt dime's history. The Roosevelt dime series was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. Roosevelt was beloved for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and his legacy was commemorated by featuring his portrait on the dime. This coin was meant to symbolize strength and resilience, reflecting Roosevelt's commitment to improving the lives of the American people. By 1965, the U.S. Mint was facing major changes, especially with the rising costs of silver. The coin's design remained the same, but there was an important shift in the material used to make the dimes. Up until that point, dimes were made of 90% silver, but in 1965, due to the increasing cost of silver, the U.S. Mint decided to change the composition of the dime to a copper-nickel clad, which is what we see today. This shift in material is one of the reasons why the 1965 Roosevelt dime is so significant in the world of numismatics. The 1965 dimes were produced in massive quantities, making it easy to find one in circulation. However, finding one in excellent condition is where the real value lies. Most of these coins were circulated heavily, meaning they often show significant signs of wear. But if you happen to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding a valuable treasure in your hands. So, what makes the 1965 Roosevelt dime stand out among other coins? Well, a few things. First, it's important to mention that 1965 was a year of major political and economic change in the United States. The country was still recovering from the effects of the Kennedy assassination, and the coinage of the time reflects that turbulent era. The 1965 Roosevelt dime, while not an error coin or unique in design, has garnered attention due to its significance in U.S. coinage history and its relatively low survival rate in mint condition. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are rare, well-preserved, and unique in some way. While many 1965 dimes have been heavily circulated, there are still some in excellent condition. These coins, often stored in collectors' books or collections, are highly sought after. The higher the coin's quality, the more valuable it becomes. Another factor that increases the value of the 1965 Roosevelt dime is the presence of mint errors. During the minting process, mistakes can sometimes occur, such as double strikes, misaligned dies, or off-center strikes. These minting errors are extremely desirable to collectors because they are unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the rest. Even small, subtle errors can drastically increase the value of the coin. Now, let's get down to the real question: how much can the 1965 Roosevelt dime be worth? As with any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a major role in its value. While most 1965 dimes are worth their face value of 10 cents, a well-preserved, uncirculated coin can fetch much higher prices. If you come across a 1965 Roosevelt dime in excellent condition, especially one with a minting error, you might be looking at a significant payday. In fact, a 1965 Roosevelt dime in uncirculated condition or one with a rare minting error could be worth as much as $96,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $96,000 for a single dime. While it's certainly rare, it shows just how valuable these seemingly modest coins can be when they've been preserved and cared for over the years. So, the next time you're going through your coin collection or looking through your spare change, be sure to take a second look at any 1965 dimes you come across. You never know, you might have an incredibly valuable piece of history right in your hands. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 1965 Roosevelt dime and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a future video. The world of coin collecting is full of fascinating stories and hidden treasures, and we'll keep bringing them to you. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.